Afternoon, family. Addict named Billy P. Today I'm sitting down getting ready for tomorrow, and today we're getting ready for a wedding rehearsal, and tomorrow I'm going to do the wedding, and imagine that. Anything's possible, huh? I used to be the one that nobody wanted at the wedding because I'm going to show up to, that gathering at the end, and I'm going to make a fool of myself. And when I went to the wedding and I went to the reception, everybody said, "Oh, here comes Billy," or they didn't even invite me because they knew that I would probably end up leaving in handcuffs and in the back of a cruiser. And talk about change, huh? What a change it is to be on this side of the fence today. From crashing the weddings, not being wanted at the weddings, to actually being the pastor at the weddings, and being asked to do people's weddings for them. That's cool. Change, huh? I used to be scared of that word because it never happened fast enough and I never knew what the outcome was going to be. That word change really, really scared me. When I came into this process of recovery, I had a lot of people telling me, they're like, "Oh, well, you only have to change one thing." And I'm like, "Okay, well, what is it? What is it?" And they said everything. And I'm like, "Oh my Lord, everything? That's a lot." So the first thing that I changed when I got out of treatment is I changed the people that I hung out with. I no longer hung out with the people that I used to because I had nothing, I didn't want to do what they were doing anymore. And this morning, I was working with a gentleman and over the phone, and we've been dealing with one another for a while, and he's down the Detroit area, and me and him don't see eye to eye on this, and that's okay. That's okay. I only know my opinion, and my opinion in the problem that he's having is getting somebody that he desperately cares about the help that she needs. And he thinks he can force it on her, and he thinks that he could push it on her. And my experience tells me this: nobody could push the process of recovery on me. Nobody could force me to not use. Nobody could shove me or enforce and push me towards changing my life. The court system tried it, and every time that they would lock me up and they would put me in jail, and I would find a jailhouse religion, and I would, I would leave that jailhouse. When they would let me go, I would leave that jailhouse religion right back in there, right back in the facility. Religion doesn't work for me. I'm the most non-religious pastor you're ever going to meet. I'm into a relationship. I'm into a personal, intimate relationship with God. Every day I wake up, I thank God for bringing me to the 12-step program, and I thank the 12-step program for bringing me to God. When people tried to push it, the court systems and everything, nothing ever worked because I didn't want it. I thought that I was okay. I thought that everybody else was wrong and I was all right. I thought, don't worry, you don't know what you're talking about. I can handle this. On November 11th, 2004, I had finally felt enough pain. I had finally caused enough agony. I had finally been there, seen it, and done it to where I myself wanted the change. I wanted the help. I don't care where you send somebody to treatment. You can send them to the best of places, or you can send them to, whatever. It doesn't matter where you send this addict. If the addict does not want the help, it's not going to work. Sooner or later, that addict is going to pick back up. It's what are you willing to do? Are you willing to give away your joy and your happiness to try to save somebody that doesn't even want to save themselves? Good luck to you. Because you're going to give away everything that you got. And that person, it's not how it works. The change has to come from within the individual. I believe that pain is a motivator. I believe that I finally experienced enough pain to where I didn't want to use no more. When I went into treatment, I didn't know anything about living happy, joyous, and free. I went into treatment, I would have settled with just flat out, how do I make it one day without making a complete mess? How do I make it one day? How can I go 5 minutes without putting something in my body? Is it even possible for me to go through a day without getting high, without pulling the bottle out, without doing something in order to change the way that I feel and I think? Little did I know, I got a lot more than just making it one day clean and sober. To me, it's like this. People are like, well, Billy, it doesn't make no sense to me. And to me, it does. We've all heard of Michelangelo. One day, Michelangelo was walking through this rock quarry, and he came up on this huge boulder. And he looked at this huge boulder, man, and he seen something in it. And he kept on walking. A couple of days later, he come back, must have been with some of his friends. Must have been some pretty big friends. And somehow they drugged this boulder back to his studio. Michelangelo chipped away at this boulder, minute after minute, hour after hour, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. And when he got done with it, it still to this day is one of the most beautiful man-made statues known to mankind. It's the statue of David. Here's the best part. When Michelangelo called his friends over to look at the statue, and everybody looked at it and they're like, oh man, how did you get this out of that boulder? His answer was so simple. Michelangelo said, I simply chipped away everything that wasn't David. That's exactly what the 12 steps do for me and millions of other people. The 12 steps in the process of recovery simply continues to chip away everything that isn't Billy P. God didn't put me on this planet to become a no good, low life, self-centered person. He put me on this planet to be me. Instead of trying to be the man, I had to learn how to just simply be a man. I couldn't be pushed to it. The court system couldn't push me to it. My wife couldn't push me to it. My mom and my dad couldn't push me to it. I had to finally go to it myself. Willingness, to have the willing to change, the willing to apply what I'm being taught. It's not magic. Today, I live in a program of application. You can give me all the tools that I need. If I have no willingness, if I will not apply application to this process, I'm not going to get anything except abstinence. I don't want abstinence. I want happy and freedom. That's what I want. Freedom from self and freedom from active addiction and freedom from this world and all the chaos that goes on in it to where I don't have to get wrapped up into it. But here's the thing. I had to become willing to where I wanted it. And I wanted it more than anything, just like I want it today. I remember back when they told me I was on a pink cloud. That must be a heck of a pink cloud, because I tell you what, I've been on it for a couple 24 hours. People, you can't force nobody into recovery. It's a decision that the addict has to make. Are you keeping that addict from feeling the pain that maybe they need to feel? Anybody at home got an addict and their favorite number is $20? Hey, I need cigarettes. You got $20? Hey, I need milk. You got $20? Hey, I'm going to go to a meeting. You got $20? Listen, dude. $20 is, $20 that. It's not your job to give the addict $20. It's your job to tell that addict, hey, maybe you need to go to a meeting. Hey, have you called your sponsor? Hey, have you gotten on your knees? Hey, have you talking to God? Hey, have you prayed? Hey, what is going on with you? What are you willing to do? I was willing to completely surrender. Every day, I surrender. Every day, I want more of what I had yesterday. My goal today, obviously not to pick up, to be a better person than I was the day before. That's it. To carry a message instead of a mess. The word change today, I embrace it. I'm no longer scared about the word change. I own it. It's mine. I take ownership of that word every day. There's still a lot of things that I need to change. That's all right. Remember that? Minute after minute, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, this process is still going to continue chipping away at me. I'll be done being chipped on when God himself takes me home. I feel bad for my buddy because I see the pain he's going through trying to force this on the person he cares about, the addict who's used him. And he really thinks that he can do this. And I told him, hey, look, dude, I'll stand by you and I'll watch you hurt yourself and I'll watch you have absolutely nothing but pain, agony, and misery. I hope he proves me wrong. For this addict and for a lot of other addicts, you have to want it. If that addict wants change, it's out there. Reach out for somebody. No addict has to die today. We don't have to fall no more. Nobody has to use again. Surrender accept change, and begin the process of becoming the person that you're intended to be. I got to get ready for this wedding. It's good to be wanted instead of pushed away. Talk about change. I'm out of here.